I moved to the UK with just one child at the time. I didn't really know what to expect, going to a new country, starting life afresh. I was excited, I was anxious, I was even scared. It was a bit of a mixed feelings. But fast forward to 5 years later, 2 more children later, I am now a permanent resident of the UK. Yay! After so much paperwork and so much money spent, because it was a lot of money. But yeah, we're finally here and I'm going to be telling you guys all about it. So let's go back to the beginning. I moved to the UK in 2020 with just one child at the time. My husband moved first as the main applicant, and then the plan was for him to obviously go first and then we'll join maybe 2 or 3 months after. But that didn't happen because COVID came and there was lockdown. As a matter of fact, we went for our biometrics today and 2 days after there was lockdown. Eventually the lockdown was lifted. They called me from the office. Our visas were ready in July, and then by August of 2020 we moved to the UK. That's myself and my daughter. So moving here, trying to navigate life, childcare, everything, it was a lot to deal with. I've shared my story over and over again on this channel. I was working just twice a week because of childcare. I wasn't really doing what I really wanted to do or making as much money as I wanted to make. This is something that nobody really prepares you for. It's something that we don't really talk about enough. It was really hard. I must say it was hard. And then I got pregnant for my first son almost immediately. I had my third child as well. That's my second son. I had my third child in the UK as well. And yeah, we just kept going and God kept helping us and he's still helping us, right? So 5 years down the line, after my husband did his own 5 years, he applied for his own ILR, and then when he got his indefinite leave to remain, he had to apply for our sons, sons that were born here. So myself and my daughter, we had to do our own 5 years. Okay, so my sons, they applied for their naturalization and then their British passports, and yeah, they are British. So I am a proud mother of 2 British citizens. Yeah, maybe on that video I'm going to tell you guys how much we've spent so far as a family of 5 in the UK trying to settle. Guys, is a lot of money and we're not even there yet because we're not yet British citizens, obviously, except for our boys. I started preparing for the exams I needed to take. I took the Life in the UK test. I shared this here with you guys, and then I went for my English exam as well. I've shared all that information and everything here on this channel. I'll try and link those videos in the description box so you can watch them as well, know what to do, the exams I took, and tips and tricks on how you can pass them as well. So I forgot to mention that obviously we moved on a dependent visa, my husband being the main applicant, so we were on a dependent visa. So people will ask you, okay, when do you have to know your 5 years? Is it when your visa was stamped, or is it when you entered the UK? All of those things is really confusing. Some people even tell you that is when you went for your biometrics, that's when it starts counting. But I wasn't in a hurry, honestly. So I used just some ILR calculators you can get online on gov.uk. You can use it to calculate when you're due and all of that. So I used it and all of them were pointing to the same time, so I had to wait until it was time for me to apply, so I won't have any issues at all. Before I continue, I'd love to introduce you guys to the sponsors of today's video, LemFi. For those who don't know, LemFi is a reliable app that allows residents of the UK, Canada, US and Europe, any part of Europe that you are in, you can use LemFi to send money to your loved ones in Africa for free. Okay, there's 0 transfer fees. I've been using LemFi for years now, and I can tell you that it's one of the best apps you can use to send money. It's stress-free, it's easy to use, and it's secured. And guess what, guys, they have one of the best rates you can find in the market, so you'll always get your complete value for money. Please download LemFi today and start using it for your financial transactions, both personal and business financial transactions. So to get started, you can download the app with my referral link in the description box, or you can download the app directly from the Apple App Store or Google Play Store and enter my code Tochi. You get £10 cash back on your first transactions above £50, right? So this is really good. Download the app today and you can thank me later, and don't forget to use my code Tochi. So when I had all the documents required for ILR application and it was time for me to apply, I put in my application and I paid for the priority service as well. You know, the one that takes 5 working days. So now for ILR fees is £3,029. So I paid £500 extra, right? So that was about £3,529. Guys, can you see? A lot of money for me and my daughter. You can imagine. So I paid for that. I'm not talking about the ones all my family members, my husband and my children spent when they were applying for their own. I don't want to talk about that. We'll talk about that later, maybe in a separate video. But when we got their British passport, trust me, it was really a proud moment for us. And we're like, okay, it's gradually coming together. 2 down, 3 more to go, you know, just holding their passport. And it felt surreal. Like, I couldn't really believe that was happening. You know, I couldn't believe it. I was like, is this film trick? Is this real? Is this... I don't know how to explain it, but we were really excited and we're grateful to God for helping us to, you know, give these boys this thing, or to help us give our children this opportunity, and getting those passports, those 2 passports. We're still waiting for the third child. You know, the privilege of being born in the UK, but it is what it is. UK immigration law, sometimes you just wonder, like, right, sorry, I was getting carried away. When it was time for me to apply, we put all the documents together, everything they needed, put in the application, and then I went for my biometrics, you know. And because I paid for priority service, I was expecting it in 5 working days. And trust me, those 5 days were like, God, I was so anxious. Sometimes I would just be waiting. I just kept looking at my phone to see if I was going to get a notification, you know, an email, anything. I just kept checking and checking. If you ever felt like that, please let us know in the comment section, just so I know I wasn't alone. Anyway, I kept checking. I did the biometrics on a Tuesday. We uploaded all the documents. I uploaded my documents, all my passports, both past and present, you know, expired and present Nigerian passports, obviously. And then we also uploaded, of course, my husband's everything to prove that, yes, of course, he's the main applicant, I am his dependent. We uploaded our utility bills, mortgage documents, my passports, and just to show that we're living together, we're still married and we're still living together in the same address. Any document that had our both names on it, we submitted those. And, you know, consent, to ask to submit for consent, like giving his consent for those documents to be submitted. We submitted those ones as well. In addition with, of course, my life in the UK, proof of English, those other main documents and requirements, you know, we put those ones. I feel like being on a dependent visa is one of the easiest visas you can be on. It doesn't really require so much from you, to be honest, because I know when my husband was applying for his own, he submitted so many things, so many documents, plenty. And then when it was now my turn, I wasn't really surprised because I had so many people on dependent visas around me that applied at about the same time, and they shared with me the documents they submitted and they got theirs. So they didn't really submit a lot, you know. Of course, they had documents you need to submit, the checklist. We checked that and make sure we put everything they needed. If you go on their website, when it's time for you to submit, you will see everything, every document that is required of you to submit following this application. You know, so we uploaded all those documents, everything that they needed, went through the application over and over again before finally pressing submit, uploading the documents. And then I went for my biometrics. You know, I went for my biometrics on a Tuesday. You know, I got an appointment for, I think, 11 or so, 11:30 or thereabouts. And after that, I came back home and the waiting process began. You know, so I waited Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, nothing. Saturday, Sunday, nothing. Thankfully, on Monday morning, first thing on Monday morning, I got the email. Dear Tochi, your application for indefinite leave to remain has been successful. Oh my goodness. I just knelt down. I'm like, God, thank you. Like, you're too faithful to fail me. You're too faithful to disappoint me. You've proven yourself in my life, and I've come to realize you're too faithful to fail me. So, guys, that is how, men and brethren, that is how your girl that you're looking at right now is now a permanent resident of the United Kingdom in it. So now I can tell you I want water, you know. You see me, I'll be telling you, you all right? You okay? So yeah, that was how I got my ILR, you know. And for some of you watching, you might be saying, oh, what's the big deal? Why are you even so happy? What is the big deal about ILR? Guys, it's a big deal. It's a big deal. It means a lot. You know, imagine all the limitations that comes with being on a visa. I remember when I wanted to get our first mortgage, so many checks. They will do you thorough checks. Yours will even be ×2. Some lenders wouldn't even want to give you because of your visa status. Even when we got our second property, the same thing. In fact, our second property was the hardest, you know, because it was an investment property. I shared the story here. But now, you don't have to deal with all those visa issues, all those visa limitations, you know, and just that peace of mind that comes with it. With even some applications, some courses you cannot access, you know, because they need your visa to have 2 years on it. They need your visa to have 18 months, and then it's just 8 months on it. It's just, you know, so all those limitations that comes with being on a visa, not dealing with that anymore is a lot. Even if it's just that, is fine with me. So it's really a big deal for so many migrants getting ILR finally, because it is what you worked for. It's your sweat, blood, money, everything. And I'm really, really grateful that I can finally say this, that I got my ILR. My family was indeed a journey filled with, you know, ups and downs, filled with expectations, prayer, saving money. Guys, we've spent so much money so far, and we're still going to spend more, you know. But just knowing that we're going to have peace, you don't have to be thinking about whether you have to renew your visa or not. You don't have to worry about paying all that much money again and everything. And the fact that after 1 year, after 12 months, you will be eligible to apply for British citizenship, you know, it's just everything. And I want to encourage somebody out there today. You're feeling down, you're feeling like depressed with all the immigration rules changes and everything. Trust me, you're going to conquer someday. You're going to look back and smile and say it was really worth it. Like the journey, the stress, the tears, the uncertainty, at the end of the day, it's going to be worth it, even if it's not for yourself, for your children. One of the things I'm going to say is start saving up early, because this thing is very expensive. It's a lot of money that can leave you bankrupt. So just start saving early. If you can put out some money, maybe a pot, savings pot, and say ILR fees or ILR money. Putting out money, even if you still have 4 years to go, 3 years to go, 1 year to go, just start saving up so that when you get to that time for ILR, you're not going to be overwhelmed with everything. That was what we did. Even though bringing out that money feels like, oh, virtue has left me. So guys, as you're watching this video, please, if you see me, just squeeze maybe 20 or 50 pounds into my hands, because I'm broke. But it's worth it. At the end of the day, after paying for ILR citizenship, is there another thing they're going to come and take my money for? Nothing. I know that we have done all that sacrifice, spent all that money, and we've gotten what we want. At least we can now breathe and, you know, do something meaningful with our lives and with our money, you know. So start saving, putting out something, no matter how little, put out something every month towards your ILR. And also book your life in the UK test ahead, you know, don't wait for last minute. That would help as well. And check your dates, okay, thoroughly, so that you're not applying too early. And finally, stay prayed up. You know, faith carried us through the journey. I'm going to be very honest with you. All God saw us through, and trust me, God has really been taking care of us. And I can say that UK has been so good to us as well, and God has been so faithful to us in this country, in this land. I always pray that this country is going to favor us. Before I stepped my foot into this country, I pray that I keep praying that we're only going to experience the good of this land. That has really been our case. Trust me, God has been faithful, and I want to encourage somebody today. I hope this story has inspired you. Don't give up. Right? No matter what's going on, at first it might not be easy. at first, the first 2 years, sometimes even the first 3 years. Not everybody settles early. Some people settle after 4 years. Some even settle after they've gotten their ILR. Everybody's journey is different, but one thing I can say that it's a journey that is worth it if you know exactly what you're doing, if you're speaking with the right people, you keep the right company, people that will inspire, you know, people that have positive mindsets, people that are doing well, doing amazing, you know, meeting milestones, doing great things, making money, establishing businesses, buying properties in this same country. If you speak to such people, they will inspire you, motivate you, and even push you to work harder, knowing that there is good in the land, and it only takes somebody with a positive mindset to see and tap into it. So yeah, that is it for today's video. I hope it encourages you. One day you will look back to and say, Mama, I made it. Trust me, with time, everything is going to be fine. It only gets better. That's all I can say. So if you have any questions, comments, whatever, leave it for me in the comment section, even with your congratulations. So yeah, thank you everyone for watching. This is my ILR story. I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye-bye.